Good evening, one and all. Bradford City have made another signing in this start to the League One campaign. Matthew Pennington has penned a new deal at Bradford City. He was offered a contract at Blackpool, or in negotiations with Blackpool. They must have wanted to keep him. Well, Bradford City have gone and signed another player who was wanted to be kept at another League One club. A very good signing again. I'll tell you my thoughts later on, but do let me know yours in the comments down below. Like if you've do gone to do so, and subscribe if you're new and willing as well. It is all massively appreciate all support we have been getting. But Matthew Pennington has signed for Bradford City. We also had Kieran Kelly sign a 1-year deal. I will just give you my quick thoughts on that. Didn't think a video would have been worth me while really, but I'll give you a quick summary on what I think about that. 1 year is a very good piece of business. I think Kelly was very good previous to his injury, and particularly at the back end of the 23-24 season under Alexander, showed all good traits of the centre back. But last season he did have a couple of bad games, but at the same time he did also have a run of games where he was arguably better than Jack Shepherd. So he has got that ability to be a very good League One centre back, but he's also got the ability to look like he shouldn't be in League Two. But I think it is very wise to give him a year in League One and see how he's going to do, and see if he is going to be injury free. So no problems about that. Matthew Pennington could be in to compete with him potentially. Will probably be a right sided centre back in to compete with Aidan Baldwin. I think again he's an all rounded centre back. I don't think he's particularly quick. He wins his duels. He's quite aggressive, pretty decent on the ball, and he's also had a great run of games in League One. I think he's played around 200 League One games, had his best football with Shrewsbury, 2 seasons with Blackpool, and again, I don't doubt any signing we make under Alexander whilst David Sharp is also at the football club, because I don't doubt that we've done our due diligence over our mentality of football players, and I don't doubt that he's also got that ability as well. Played games for Everton and came through their ranks and played, so to come through the ranks at Everton and play senior football is no underestimation, and he has had a good couple of seasons at Blackpool. I think last season he was fairly average in League One. It wasn't his best season, but his last season at Shrewsbury he was, probably a good League One centre back in that top category. So he's definitely got the ability to make a difference in our squad, and this is what we've been doing. We've been making very solid signings throughout the transfer window, and this is just another one of those where it's not something that's overly exciting. It's not a huge name, but he's someone who's got experience, knows the level, and will do a job. We are yet to make what I would say is a poor signing, an underwhelming signing, a bad signing. We're bringing in players who are solid, who have had good reviews from the previous clubs, who outside of the saying it's solid, it's experience. We're bringing in know-how, and that's what you've got to do to make, first and foremost, we stay in the league, and that's what our job is to do. We have to stay in League One this season. If we can get in the top half, unbelievable. If we can get a playoff push, that is out of this world obscene. And I don't think we're miles away from that, because if you can have a core, don't underestimate the dressing room. Do not underestimate the dressing room. Managers like your Neil Warnocks have made a living out of getting results out of a dressing room, having the mentality there. And Graham Alexander's a very similar manager to that. And I think these type of signings are the type that, if you keep bringing in them like we are throughout the summer window, and we already had a set squad that have achieved a promotion and know what it takes, but also have the ability to step up. We have 3, 4, 5 players, I think, who were ready to step up into a top level League One. Then, yes, let's see how we do, because I think we can put a push on. Anything can be achieved. Everyone's got to go in thinking that they can get towards the playoffs, maybe get out of the league. And that's got to be everyone's club's ambition. But I think it's not unrealistic for us now with the signings we're making. But the realistic aim is never going to waver. If we finish 20th, we've had a good season. And we should be aiming for a mid-table. And these are the type of signings we're making. So nothing to get overly excited about. But that's what you've got to do to be mid-table in League One. Like I keep talking about maybe pushing for playoffs because I'm excited and you're excited. And that's what being a football fan is. You've got to be excited about your football team. And we have made very exciting signings that can push us on top level. Humphreys and maybe Max Power being the standouts, and Wright from Kilmarnock, they are the standouts so far. Nerfel as well for in a couple of years' time. But the obvious thing is the amount of defenders that are coming in and the amount that we've got now. We've got I hope more so that it's going to be Till and Wright in the centre, Kelly left centre back with a new one to come in on loan who maybe has a bit more pace about him in the back line, and now the right side is Baldwin and Pennington. Unfortunately, that obviously means I mentioned Neil Byrne, who I thought were very good for us last season. I'm not sure if he can make the step up to League One. Maybe as a backup, he will do a job for you, but I'm not sure if he's going to be exactly what we want. So that's what I'm hoping for, but mainly for balance. I think the back line, whatever back line you play, they've got to have a balance. You've got to have one who's a bit of a bulldozer. He's not going to take no prisoners. He's going to win everything in the air. He might kick a few shins. You've got to have one who's really good on the ball, and I think you've got to have one who's quick. You've got to find that balance. You might have one who's all three of them, which is very hard to come by, but that's what you've got to look for. At the minute, I'm seeing Tilt being that bulldozer who's going to win everything in the air. I think Wright's very similar to that. I think Pennington's an all-round mix. Baldwin's the one who's good on the ball. He ain't slow. I won't say he's blessed for pace, but he certainly ain't slow. Kelly, previous to his injury, I thought was deceptively quick, and he's a bit of an all-rounder, but I think he could be better on the ball. I think that's where he's a bit poor under pressure on the ball. But he's a big unit, and he is a bit of a warrior when he's really on it, and a really passionate potential leader at the back in games. So you have got a bit of a mix there, but I think what's missing at back line is a bit of pace, because in League One there's a lot of quick strikers, a lot of quick wingers who want to take players on, who want to get to a byline, and you've seen it with your Charlie Kelmans, a quick nippy striker who can stretch defences. That is what a lot of League One strikers are all about. I don't think we're quite adept at being able to handle that at the minute. I think we can handle the big ones, but those small ones, I think it could be a bit tricky at the minute looking at the squad. So I think that's one area we might need to look at, and that's where the loan comes in. I think we're going to look at bringing 2 more loans in as well, because you normally do. So I would expect another centre-back, and everyone's talking about all the centre-backs, but last season our weakest area centre-back, I thought midfield were the best in the league when you take into account the attacking midfielders as well. Striker, best one in the league when he's fit in Andy Cook. That's something we needed to improve on in terms of cover for Andy Cook. We're still needing that big striker who can come in for us and replace Andy Cook maybe in a few years, but Andy Cook won't be available to October. And if he ain't the same player, who do you turn to? Because Cam Kavanagh ain't going to be that in League One, in my opinion, and I think in a lot of people's opinions, he just ain't going to be that striker for us. So that's an area we're also going to have to look at. Wing backs, we're fine. So I think one more centre backs, maybe a defensive midfielder or an 8, but I think we're fine in the 8s and 10s now. I think we need a striker and maybe another centre back, and then I'm pretty happy with that transfer window, to be honest with you. I think it's been solid throughout. Another 7 in Pennington, and I can't wait to see what he's got to offer for Bradford City. So this video has been a bit more of an all-round look at the squad and how we're doing, but there's no use for concern here with the experience, because experience is key. I've always thought that, and in terms of the amount of defenders, I thought one of our weakest areas last season. I think we consider one of the most amount in that top 7, and we did look a bit more weak, so we had to improve it anyway. And with Shepherd going out, that was always going to be a bit of a concern, and I think we have improved it. And with Pennington, is another good addition to that back line that adds something else. And like I say, don't underestimate the fact that Blackpool offered him a contract. In terms of him starting then, with Baldwin probably being his competition in the right side centre-back position, we all know what Baldwin did, and a lot of people still aren't forgiven him. I have, and you might have as well. Let me know in the comments down below if you have forgiven him for the debacle at Doncaster. But Pennington has turned down a contract, presumably, at Blackpool. They did bring in Horsfall and Iwekwe, I think that's his name, or Ikekwe, or he kicked his pants, something like that. The chef Wednesday, the centre back, 2 unbelievable centre backs for League One level. He was going to be back up to them. So if he's rejected a contract at Blackpool because he was going to be back up, I'd expect that he's accepted our contract because he's been guaranteed almost first team football, and I think that would be the main reason, the main pulling factor. Forget about everything else. That all comes with the territory playing for Bradford City, and that's what he's aware of. But in terms of first team football, I think that's something that he'll be expecting. So the back line, I think at the minute, will be Pennington in the right centre back, right in the middle, and then at the left, I would currently say Kieran Kelly. That's mine. But what are your three centre-back options at the minute? But very good signing and very solid. And again, another 7 out of 10 for me. So with Bradford City looking solid as a rock, will they solidify themselves in the top half, do you think? In the comments down below. How do you see their team lining up at the start of the season? Who are the best centre-backs so far in the football club? Who would be your back three? A lot of questions coming your way. And what are your thoughts on Matthew Pennington? Like I say, I think it's a very good signing, very solid signing. He can come in and do the job, but I think he can start and do a very good job as well. Good on the ball, good aerially, good in the duels, good attitude, good player, good pre-season so far. And David Sharp said, we'll have one more player in before season. How's 3? One more? Let's see. Well, like the video if you did, subscribe if you're new, and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All those questions, I've just helped you out. And have a good one.